our shop just outside Kennesaw here in North Georgia. Well, it's a rainy day in Georgia, the remnants of the hurricane that hit Houston, and of course our thoughts go out to that city as it struggles to get back on its feet. But anyways, back here in North Georgia, we got some furniture we got to do something with. I went out this weekend yard sale and I picked up a couple pieces. This piece here, this little 3-drawer chest, I picked up for $5, and this was a good buy. It doesn't need very much work, and this will go well. The two places that I didn't do so well on were these two little tables. I hope you can see them. This one here appears to be mahogany. It's actually a modern reproduction and not a very high quality. And then this little oak table, you can see, is just about ready to fall over. Kind of embarrassing, but the story is I was at a yard sale late in the day and the lady had these, and she had this one marked I think for $10 or $15 and this one for $20, and I didn't pay any attention to them because these little tables really don't bring much money. And I was looking at some old cookbooks she had. She had a collection of these old church cookbooks. I'm not sure, unless you're from the South, if you're familiar with these, but lots of times churches will get together to do a fundraiser, and all the women will contribute a family recipe, and then they put them in a little book, and they sell those books. And we enjoy those books, and they also sell fairly well. People that are into culinary things like to buy these books and have these old recipes. So she had a pile of these books, and I went up to her and asked her what she wanted for them. And she told me if I paid $15 for these two pieces, I'd have the books for free. So like an idiot, I bought them. And these won't bring much money. This here would probably be $15 fixed. This piece may be 20 or 25, and that's at the consignment store. I still have to pay 40% commission on those. So this is not going to be, these are not going to be pieces I'm going to make any money on. So as we talked about in the last video, use your brain. How can we get out of these without putting too much time in them? You know, even if I painted them, it's going to be way too much time for the money that remains on the table. So we're going to do something with this table that I haven't showed you before. And this table, I'm not even sure if I'm going to restore this. I may just take it apart and keep it for the wood. But we're going to focus just on this table for this video. And the product we're going to use on this table is Restor-a-Finish. There's a lot of questions about this. I know a lot of people use this. What Restor-a-Finish is what we call an amalgamating finish. And basically what it is it's, and again, I'm not an industrial chemist. If you are, feel free to contribute in the comments below. But basically what it is oil, dye, and a chemical solvent that softens the finish. So if you look at this table, and I'll bring you in closer here in just a minute, but you can see there's scratches and an old water ring here. What Restor-a-Finish does, you put it on and it will lightly dissolve the finish, allows the dye and the oil to get in there and color all this in. And then you wipe it off and you put wax over top of it when it's dry. You're not supposed to recover or try to re-top coat. This will prevent you from re-top coating. So you can't like put this on and then go over top of it with polyurethane or lacquer. It's going to react with it. But what it is it's a great option if you have a piece of furniture that you want to touch up, but you don't want to refinish it. Auction houses are famous for using this stuff. Sometimes if you go to a furniture auction the day before or several hours before, the whole place stinks of this and scratch cover and Old English, because they're trying to pretty up these pieces real quick before they sell. So I'm going to show you how to use it on this table. And there's also a repair I think we've got to do. Yeah, here it is. We've got to fix this. Fortunately, we have all the dowels here. Nothing's broken, but we'll get that fixed, and then we will do a Restor-a-Finish on this. This piece here, I think I'm just going to wipe down with scratch cover and move this on. It's got some scratches on the top, but I think it presents itself well enough that we don't have to do too much to this. And like I said, I'll make a decision on this, but you know, a magazine rack, really, I mean, do people still have magazines? When I used to help with the auction, we used to call these iPad holders, trying to get people to buy them for that. But anyways, that I don't know what I'm going to do with. This we're going to fix and Restor-a-Finish. This we're going to scratch cover, and then all three of these pieces are out of here on their way up to the consignment store. And I will be more careful in the future about buying these even when I'm bribed with a pile of cool church cookbooks. I will bring you back. Okay, I've got the two loose rails off of the mahogany table, and then I took and flipped the rails over, and you can see there's prior repairs here where we've got glue all over the place. Now, this is the underside, and we could get away with leaving it the way it is, but what the heck, we're at it, we might as well, and it's loose anyways. We might as well clean this up. And as it turns out, I'm glad we did, because the glue, whoever glued this in didn't even put any glue on the pin. You can see here it's bone dry. All they did was glue around it. They probably never took it off. And we've got some glue here as well. I'm not sure you can see around the leather that I've got in here protecting this piece, but we'll just get that glue scraped off of there and make this a little bit more presentable. All right, that's taken care of. I'm going to clean out all the holes, clean out all the dowels, then we'll get everything glued up. Okay, I've got the table flipped upside down. I want to show you how these legs go on. Obviously you'll see that this is a knockoff modern piece of furniture. First thing that happens is this piece unscrews. And with that off, these legs come right off. Let me show you the mechanism here. As you can see, there's just two little Phillips head screws that are protruding up just a little bit. And then in the table, you can see it, there are these metal brackets. So these screws go in here and it slides down, and that little narrow part basically just slides on either end of the screw, and then it's held down with this knob. It's modern knockoff box furniture. And what I'm going to do is put this back on with a little glue, so when this loosens up, which it probably will, then this leg is not going to come sliding off and start to wobble on the people that buy this. And if they need to get this leg off for any reason, they can just tap it with a hammer, it'll come right up. Because I'm only going to use a drop or two of glue on this. So let me get going on this. Okay, we'll let that sit for a few hours, let that glue harden up, and we'll come back and we will work on that the top. Okay, let's pull these clamps off and see how we did. I'm happy with it. Let's move on. Okay, here's the top of our table, and you can see we've got a water stain here. We've got big scratches here all over this. And we're going to get ready to use the Restor-a-Finish. Now, Restor-a-Finish comes in a series of different colors. You want to match your color best you can.
what I've got on hand that's going to match this as closely as I think it can is this dark oak. There's also a walnut, there's mahogany, there's golden oak, there's all sorts of different colors. But remember, this has a stain in it, and the chemicals are going to introduce the stain into the finish and into any bare wood, so you want to make sure it's going to kind of match. And what I'll do is I'm just going to pour a little bit of this right on this piece of steel wool and rub it in here, and let's see how it changes things. As I'm looking in the camera, I'm seeing you've got glare on this right here. I want you to see that, because that's the kind of damage you'll be dealing with most often. Here we go. And you can see as it goes on, much like scratch cover, any of the scratches that are through the finish, it just colors them right out. But as we're working on the finish, we're hoping that it's dissolving at least the surface layer of the finish and letting this dye and oil work its way in to bring some life back to this tabletop. And these little dowels pose a little bit of a challenge to get around, but just takes a minute or two. And I'm going to get the edge of this table too, because it's fairly faded. And we'll do these raised portions. You can buy Restor-a-Finish at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's available pretty much everywhere in hardware stores and whatever. It's not hard to find whatsoever. I got a little area right here that wasn't taking the stain, but I just got it rubbed in, and now it has. And it's taking a little bit of effort on the sides, so I'm going to put a little bit more Restor-a-Finish on here and work it in and drip it on the floor. Okay, I think I've made a sufficient enough mess. Let's start wiping it off. Take a look at what we got here. I don't see that water stain anywhere. All them scratches are gone. All of those scratches are gone. Top looks really good. It looks really good. And for what this piece of furniture is and what we needed to do with it, Restor-a-Finish was just the right solution for us. Now on this other piece, we've got these finish flaws here, but they're basically just scratches through the finish. I'm sure the finish is just a clear coat over the wood. It looks to be without any color, but we just need to blend this in. We don't really have any broken finish anywhere on this, no water rings, nothing that requires us to use an amalgamator on the finish. We just need to blend this in. And again, this is a quick piece of flip furniture. If I thought it had any great value, we could strip this off and shoot another lacquer coat on it. But we're just going to use some scratch cover. And what I'm using is just Old English, and I'm using their light color. And we'll just spread some on and wipe it into the wood. And right away it's lightening up those scratches. Putting just a little color in them to blend them in. Don't fool yourself. The scratches are still here. They've just been colored so they blend in. It's very hard to see them because they do blend in. For example, right there, you can see that one. This one is still here. But when you step back and you're looking at it from a distance, you don't see them because they blended in. Okay, the Restor-a-Finish wants us to wait 30 minutes before we put the feed and wax on it. So let's wait 30 minutes and I'll bring you back. Well, 30 minutes have passed. Here's my brand new bottle of Howard's feed and wax. And let's put a coat on and finish this up. And this can go on with steel wool if you want, or you can put on with a rag. I've just got a rag here. And we're just going to put a coat of wax on this tabletop. And then we will be done. I'm supposed to let Howard set for, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes or so, let it haze up and then buff it off. I'll be honest with you, it's never really hazed up for me, and I just come back in a half hour or so and buff it off and we're done. But look, there you go. That came out really well. That was a perfect fix, the perfect thing to do to restore this piece. Again, we used, to make that determination, we used what we paid for it, we used what we believe the value of the piece would be at sale, we assessed the damage to it and what we could fix for the amount of time that we wanted to put in it, and then using our knowledge of what was available, we chose Restor-a-Finish and Howard's Feed and Wax. We had excellent results, and this piece is ready to go up for sale. So I hope this helped you, and I hope you enjoyed it. So listen, from our shop just outside Kennesaw here in North Georgia, thanks for watching. Best regards. Take good care. We'll see you next video. Bye.